Welcome to BA Better Techie. Now we'll discuss few things about the Spring specific annotations. Okay, that is auto wide and at qualifier annotations. In the previous sessions, we discussed about one of the Spring annotation, that is at the rate required. If we need to make the setter injection as mandatory, then we'll go for the at the rate required annotation. And in the previous session we are get to know that even bean factory also supports the annotations, how and how we need to add the our post process to the bean factory. We completed one example in the previous session. With that knowledge, again we are moving into the different kind of annotations. Okay, these annotations we are going with the example as well. Before navigating to the example, what the official definition is saying about the auto wire. Okay, marks a constructor, field, setter method or config method as to be auto wired by Spring's dependency injection facilities. So instead of we manually providing the dependency injection at the IOC container, if we declare the annotations with at the rate auto wire annotation, then once the objects are created, the injection part will be taken care by the IOC container. How and all we will see meanwhile. And as updated previously, all the Spring annotations are part of the retention level runtime. If you see here, right, just I opened the documentation part at the rate auto wire. If you see here, right, this retention is nothing but it's a meta annotation. On top of annotations we will apply this at the rate retention and the type will be runtime. So even if I go with the guitar as at the rate runtime, right, my class will be treated as a pozo class only, because these actions will be applied at runtime. As we are aware, the retention policies is present at the source, class and runtime. And the other thing is the at the rate auto wire annotations we can apply at different levels. Like here we are having, we no need to go with specific number, because why we will get to know. Okay, this at the rate auto wire annotation will be given at the attribute level, setter method level, constructor method level and arbitrary or user defined method level. These are the main things. Apart from this, the annotation type also there. If you see the target, right, the auto wired where and all we can apply means at constructor. If you see the element type, right, this is documentation part, constructor, method level and parameter and the field level. And if you see the another method, annotation type as well. Annotation type, what is that means on top of any annotations also we can apply this at the rate auto wire. Like how means, when I open at the rate retention, right, we are aware at the rate retention we can provide on top of annotations, right. Let me open at the rate retention. If you see the target, right, always the retention is on top of annotations. Similarly, even auto wire also it will support annotation type here. Okay, and if you see the at the rate auto wire, the default value will be true. We can get to know when we can go for false and when we can go for the true as well. Okay, these are the some introduction about the auto wire, and we may get some more things in the articles available thanks to the articles provided. And the auto wire, as we are discussing annotations, but we are having configuration level as well. Means instead of we manually injecting, we can provide the different types of auto wiring mechanisms at the configuration level, like by name, by type, constructor, and auto detect and no. These are the different modes we can treat. Okay, this we can go with the configuration level. Like how means, if we are having the classes a b, right, then how can we declare means by using the auto-wire attribute of the bean. By name the injection will be happen. These are the different modes in case of configurations. In case of annotations, we don't have different modes. Only the annotation injection will be happened by type, the class type of the declared bean. Hope this is clear. And with this information, we will navigate to the example application. We can take one example, like we'll take a guitar. Okay, if to play with the guitar, what we need, there are multiple dependencies are there. Guitar instrument I'm talking, this instruments having some different types of tuners to tune the sounds, whatever the sounds coming from the guitar, right, that we can tune it. So like different parts are there. Okay, here if you see tuners and the neck, like that different parts are there, but for our example purpose just a guitar and a tuner if you take, then what is here means this is the my simple tuner. Okay, this is the tuner class. My tuner class contain tuner type. Like we may having the manual tuner by rotating manually, or we are having digital tuner as well. So just I provided one string attribute here, and this is the setter method for this tuner class, and just I am printing this toString. So my tuner is very simple. Now for playing guitar we need the tuner class. This is the dependency I am trying to establishing here. Now I am having one guitar. Here my guitar wants the tuner. Without a tuner I can't play with the guitar. So I declared this as a attribute here, and we are having idea how can we inject this one means by using different ways like setter and constructor injection. So that injection, instead of we manually declaring, we are going with the auto wire. So this is one of the example. Okay, yes, auto wire. Yeah, I'm having the classes are very simple: guitar class and the tuner class. Let's not go with any of this setter or constructor, then we'll see step by step how it will work. See, here I am injecting this tuner to the setter injection. Okay, and just I am printing the guitar. Okay, this is my simple classes, and yeah, let me show the pom.xml as well. Here I am going with the annotations 5.3.14. Here I am not going with the bean factory because of simplicity. As in the previous session we are aware, once the bean factory, bean post processor object we got, then we need to add that post processor to the bean factory. Like that, if I am using multiple annotations, I need to get each and every bean post processor, respective bean post processor, and we need to add to the bean factory. So instead of that manual thing, Spring is supporting application context.xml. It's a eager loading, and at the Yes, this is the configuration file, and here I am enabling the context colon annotation config attribute as well. How can we get? Means through namespaces we can get this context annotation, and my configuration class is very simple. Just I am having guitar as a bean and the tuner also simple bean. Okay, now let me navigate to the test class. This is my test class. The test class will be very simple. Just I created the object for the application context by providing the configuration path, and I am asking the application context dot get bean of guitar. Where is this annotation? Yes, this is guitar. Okay, and now I'll save this project. Hope the project structure is clear. So let me run the test class, then we'll see how the things are working. Yeah, if you see now my guitar is playing without any tuner. The tuner is null because I'm having setters and all, but we need to provide the dependency. So where can for time being I'll close this one, and before navigating here, as I updated earlier, the AutoWire is just a documentation part. Yeah, these are the different levels we are injecting, that is fine. Auto-wired constructors, fields, methods, auto-wired parameters, and multiple arguments required semantics, that is fine. If you see here, right, even auto-wire also we are having bean post processor, auto-wired annotation, bean post processor. If we are using the bean factory, right, then we need to get this object and we need to add this bean to the bean factory for manually registering to the bean factory. Fine. Yeah, now what I am giving here, as we are aware, by default the value will be true, so we need no need to provide anything. So at the setter level I made the @auto-wired as injected. Now let me run our test class once. I'll close the other classes. Yeah. Yes, now set tuner setter method. Once the object guitar and tuner objects are ready, and the setter method will be injected. Through setter method we are injecting our tuner into the guitar, and here if you see the beans type, right, this is the tuner. This tuner type I am giving. Tuner, this is tuner type. Yeah, here tuner it is taking. Fine, it's a tuner type, not tuber. Okay, So here also will change. Okay, it is taking property tuner private string tuber. Okay, here because of this it is not taking. If you see the setter method type, it is taking tuner. Now things are good. Tuner. Yes. Now in this case I am doing value as manual tuner. So hope the output is fine. Yeah. Now my guitar playing with the tuner, manual tuner. Now this is at the setter injection. Now even we can go with the attribute as well. Okay, we can comment this part. And let me enable here @autowired. Okay, this is at the attribute level. Let me run the test class one more time. Even in this case as well, we'll get the expected desired output. Now guitar playing with manual tuner. So here there is no setter, right? So we didn't get the setter specific information. And even we can go with the constructor as well. So I'm having constructor here. If you see, this is the simple guitar constructor and this is tuner. And this is just a set tuner constructor call, and then I am setting the tuner. Let me execute this test case as well. This is nothing but AutoWire at the constructor level. Run as Java application. Yes. Once my by using constructor, it will create the object. Then the injections will be happened. Now, yeah, we are having arbitrary level as well. Let me comment this part. Suppose I am having set value. Okay, set value or set volume control. Volume control assume. But in this case, my method should be of return type should be void and it should be public. Then only I can apply the @autowire annotation. Suppose if I run here without any annotation, we won't get the tuner. Without a tuner, we will get the guitar. Now, with the help of the user defined method or arbitrary method, also we can use the AutoWire. Yeah. Now let me run these tests once. Yeah. Now with the arbitrary method, even my guitar is playing with the tuner. Okay. Hope these are clear. Fine. Now suppose if in my IOC container I am having two types of tuners, assume in that case if we inject this one, then we will get the ambiguity. Yeah, sorry. So about auto candidate false and the at the rate qualifier, when we will go and when to use. Okay, suppose if I am having tuner types, two tuner type beans, one is for manual tuner and another one is digital tuner. Now in this case the class two beans are there with the same class types. Then when I try to do any injection, then how it will behave, we'll see. Okay, now my IOC container contains two beans of same class type. Okay, yeah, if you see, no qualifying bean of type available, expected single matching bean but found two, tuner 1 and tuner 2. This this means only by type only the auto wire injection will be happens. And what we need to do here, we can provide like auto wire by default it is true. Okay, then we need to make this as false. When I try to execute my test class once, now I can inject the manual tuner only, because I made this one auto wire hyphen candidate as false. So at the time of injection, this bean won't participate in the uh, injection part. So see, always it won't involve in the injection, so there is no use actually, no use of two beans. Okay, then how can we use this bean whenever if required, means we need to go with the qualifier annotation. Okay, from starting onwards we made this one, this attribute we given, but it's not required. Even without this also it will be working fine, but the qualifier when it will be helpful means whenever we are using at the rate qualifier, then that name we need to provide here. So here I am removing this auto wire candidate because this bean is not participating in the injection at any point of time. Now here I given the qualifier. First I will remove this qualifier itself. Let me run this one. Anyway, we'll get ambiguity, that is fine. And here I will go with the qualifier annotation. Why? Because my IOC container contains two beans of same class type, dependent beans. Okay, now let me run this one. Even now also it is unable to get the dependency, because first it will check the any of this tuner type. Where is this? Yeah, if at least the qualifier contains this type, tuner type. Suppose if I am having tuner only, then in this case it will go for the ID. The ID is matching here tuner and here tuner. So based on ID it can try to inject if that ID type is present. Let me execute this. So even IDs also it is not happening. Qualifiers as attribute dependency annotations. Tuner, right? Okay, the property is tuner type. Okay, as this is one of the arbitrary method, right? So here I am having the tuner type, and here we are having multiple permutations and combinations. How these things means, here I provided the qualifier, and when here the type will be tuner, and here my IOC container tuner is matching, but still it is not injecting. We are getting ambiguity issue, right? So same thing if I go with the setter level. Sorry. This is the setter level injection, and here I'll go with qualifier. Sorry, test class we need to navigate. I think the time is exceeding, so I'll try to stop this one and I'll continue in next video. Okay, yeah. So if we are having qualifier, right, then we need to provide the qualifier name here. As the type is we are having to, so we are getting ambiguity in the previous case. Okay, now here I am having the digital tuner. Okay, this is the qualifier I am providing here, and let me run my test class. Yes, now my guitar is ready with the specified tuner. Okay, digital tuner. Here if you see, the digital tuner is injected because we provided the qualifier name as digital tuner. Okay, even in case of arbitrary method or other thing as well, but at this point I'll stop this one. I'll continue in the next recording.